Please remember to avoid anything that hurts your knees or your lower back. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn face the side. And go ahead and take your left leg and bend it behind you. Tuck the pelvis slightly and make sure that you feel a stretch in the thigh and nothing in the knee. If you feel something in the knee here, please just avoid it altogether. And then just gently tilt the pelvis and lean back however far you're comfortable going. And just stretch out the quad a little bit. Keep the breath moving and try not to collapse in the shoulders or overarch your lower back. So keep the pelvis slightly tucked and just feel a nice stretch in the thigh. Just warming up the thigh a little bit for a little stretch that comes in later on. If you can go all the way down, go ahead. Now just make sure that you don't lift the knee up. Okay, so try, if possible, try to keep the knee down, the pelvis tucked. And if it does hurt your knee, go ahead and come up onto your elbows and put the knee back down. Okay, so let's slowly come on up and then switch legs. Bring the right leg behind you. Tuck the pelvis slightly, so we're just taking some of the arch out of the lower back. And lean back however far you're comfortable going. Start nice and easy, and please be very, very careful on the knees. You should not do this if you have any kind of knee injury or surgery, or just any kind of pain in general. Tuck the pelvis a little more. And if you can go all the way down, go ahead and do so. Making sure the knee stays down and that you keep the pelvis tucked so you don't overarch the lower back. Keep pressing the knee down. You may also feel a stretch in the hip flexor area. And then slowly come back up. Okay, let's release the legs forward and we'll lie back down. And let's go ahead and bend from the legs. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And bring the left knee into the chest. Try to keep your shoulders down and your hips down. You don't want to roll the hips up. Keep the tailbone down. And with your arms, you pull that knee in however far you can without rolling up the hips, so you can get enough of a deep stretch in the right hip. Let's release the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Flex the foot. Keep the shoulders on the mat. And gently draw the leg in while keeping the tailbone down. So we don't want to roll the hips up. You roll the hips up, you move the stretch into the lower back and lose the hip and hamstring stretch. Flex the foot. Feel the stretch in the calf. And then slowly bend from the knee and release. Okay, so keep the legs in the same position. Take your hips and move them to the left a little bit. And then allow the legs to fall over to the right side. Bring arms out to the side. And this you'll feel in the spine and in the hip, and in the hip flexor area. And you're using the right leg to just gently pull down on the left leg. And it's okay if this hip comes up a little bit. But remember, you should not feel anything in the lower back or in the knees. Keep breathing and keep the rest of the body relaxed and soft. And then slowly come back in. Now go ahead and bring your knees together. Cross your legs all the way over. And then take your hips and move them to the left just a little bit. And once again, we allow, move the hips to the right a little bit. And let's allow the legs to go over to the left side. So once again, the top leg is pulling the hip over. And keep the chest open. So try to keep the right shoulder on the mat. Keep breathing. Now go ahead and take your left arm, bring it to the right, and with the right hand, you gently pull on the left arm. So you're feeling a stretch in the left shoulder. And then turn your head all the way to the left. Now let's add on the eyes. Okay, so you're gonna take your eyes and look all the way towards your right, as far as you can. This works the eye muscles. And one more thing, go ahead and take your tongue and press it on the left cheek. Keep the breath moving. Then go ahead and release the tongue. Release the eyes. Release the head to center. Release the arm. Now take the top leg and extend it and see if you could hold on to the knife edge of the top leg, the right leg. The right shoulder stays down on the mat and head is looking to the left, to the right. Now if you can, take the bottom leg, the left leg, bend it. If you need to lift and look at the foot, go ahead and do so. And see if you can hold on to the left foot. Sometimes it's a little hard to remember what is right and what is left when you're crossing the central line with so many limbs. So sometimes you may need to stop and think about it a little bit. So the top leg is straight, the bottom leg is bent, and you should be looking to your right side. And keep breathing. And keep pulling on that top leg, however far you can. Now make sure that the back foot stays down, and of course you don't feel anything in the knees. Be careful when you release the bottom foot, so the bottom leg releases, and then the top leg releases, and then we go ahead and come back to center. Straighten the hips, make sure that they're in the center of the mat again, and let's switch the legs. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and pull the right knee into the chest. And once again, just make sure that the hips stay down. You don't want to roll the hips up. We keep the hips down. It's almost as if you're trying to put the arch back in your lower back. Doesn't actually have to lift, but just resist the urge to round the hips off the mat. Shoulders stay down, and you can hug that right knee as much as you can. Again, this should not be felt in the knees, either one. Keep breathing. And let's extend the top leg. You take the arms out, and you hold on to whatever part of the leg you can hold on to without rolling the hips up. If you can hold on to the knife edge of the foot, go ahead and do so, maybe the big toe, or anywhere behind the leg. Keep the breath moving, and keep the tailbone down. Push through both heels, and keep breathing. Let's go ahead and release. Place the right foot on the floor. And let's go ahead and bring your hips to the right a little bit. And then the left foot, you're going to pull the right knee all the way across. And gently presses on the right knee, arms out to the side. And keep the right shoulder on the mat. Keep breathing. And keep the rest of the body relaxed. And slowly come back to center. Bring your hips in the center of the mat again. Cross your legs all the way over. And now go ahead and bring your hips over to your left a little bit. And then both legs go over to the right. And try to feel it. Try to feel your spine straight. You may need to go over a little bit more. Arms go out to the side. And then your head turns over to the left. Left shoulder stays on the mat. Keep the breath moving. And once again, make sure you feel nothing in your lower back. And keep breathing. And keep in mind that all of your stretches should always feel very good. So if something doesn't feel good, try to figure out what it is that your body needs to do in order to have the stretch feel good. Okay, now let's go ahead and take the right arm, bring it all the way across, and the left arm holds onto the right wrist, and you gently pull so that you're feeling the stretch in the right shoulder. Try not to resist by pulling back with the right arm. Allow the right arm to come across. And just like before, we're going to turn the head to the right, and the eyes are going to go to the left, and then the tongue is going to press against the right cheek, okay? So we turn the head to the right, Then the eyes look to the left. And then the tongue presses on the right cheek. Then release the tongue. Release the eyes to center. Release the head. And then release the arms. Now let's take the top leg and straighten it, or as much as you can. Extend it as much as you can. You can hold on to the knee or the calf. If you can get it straight, go ahead and get it straight. Hold on to the knife edge of the foot and stay. Keep breathing. Keep the left shoulder on the mat. And deepen the breaths. Try to take extra long breaths whenever you do any kind of spine twist. And try to direct the breath into the middle to upper spine and really lift and open the chest. And then, if you can, go ahead and bend the bottom leg. Watch for the hamstring. If you need to pick up your head to look at the foot, go ahead and do so. Bring that bottom knee back a little bit. And hold. Again, try not to tense. As best as you can, everything should be nice and soft, nice and relaxed. Keep breathing. And you should feel nothing in the knees or in the lower back. And as always, when you release, you want to make sure that nothing snaps. Okay? Nice and soft, you release the bottom leg, then the top leg. Then come back to center. Bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug, and then roll up, sitting position. Okay, so as always, be very, very mindful, especially when you work with knees and spine. Just move slowly and carefully and with awareness. Try not to rush. And let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, release. I'll see you next time.